Hi everyone, today is September the 18th and it is a Friday. I usually don't post my updates on Fridays, but there's a couple of things I want to talk about the class, and I'm going to be gone on Sunday through Tuesday of this coming weekend to an AACSB accreditation conference up in Chicago. So I won't be able to post a video on Monday, so this is your video for Monday. Basically, your grades for your first exam, I am planning on grading those on that trip up there. I'm going to be away from my office, but the grading is much easier on my iPad, and that's what I travel with. So, the flight time, sitting in the airport time, I won't be driving, so if I'm sitting in the cab for a while, that's that downtime that I'm kind of banking on getting your grades done. So it might be Tuesday instead of Monday, but I will get those grades finished and back to you for your if you need to update anything, you'd be able to at that time. Some of you are asking about the new project that's supposed to be for next week, and what I've decided to do is to not do a new project, but to beef up the Emerging Trends project a little bit. So let me show you briefly what I've decided to do. Here on the syllabus, you see that I've changed what was new project at 10 points now to 5 points, and call it now Emerging Trends Discussion. And then your Emerging Trends project was 10 points, and now it's 15 points. So what I'd like for you to do is, in this discussion area, let me bring it up, I've created an Emerging Trends discussion forum. If you go under the discussions list, we've got our course discussions and then general discussions, and then here we've got Emerging Trends discussions. If you'll click on this, then what you will see is you can start a new thread, and here's my first post here, but you can start your own thread. And what I want you to do is I'd like for each team to create their own thread here that is your outline for your Emerging Trends project. Then I would like for each of you to look over the outlines of the other teams in your class and give some meaningful feedback to at least two of them. Two posts of meaningful feedback. It might be to one team, but I'm looking for two meaningful posts. And by meaningful, I mean I don't want you to say, I agree with what Bob said. You can post a question that you have about the topic. Explain why the question is important to you. You can post a personal story about the topic that the team could use in their presentation. Or you can piggyback off of someone else's question. If someone poses a good question and you want to explain why that question is important to you, then you can do that as well. I think this will help each of the teams to make sure that the presentations that you put together are meaningful not only to the team that's creating it, but also to all of you who are going to be watching them. So you're going to create your own thread here in the topics area. So not to reply to this thread, but if you go back to the topic, you can start a new thread. And I've got it set up for a grade, so that way I can go through and pull up and look at everybody's individual posts, and so I can assign your grade to that. So that's what I'm looking for you to do for me for this next week. So if you haven't, as a team, already started working on your Emerging Trends projects, I'd like for you to, since we're not doing a new project next week, most of you have already selected your topic, go ahead and put together your outline, post your outline, and start getting some feedback from your classmates. That's about all that I have. Let's look at the calendar just real quick and make sure that we're not missing anything important that we need to talk about. No? Okay, so Monday is the 21st. I'll be out that Monday. This week you'll have your discussions, or you can work ahead on Chapter 7 and 8. I would really like to close down the discussions for this by the end of next week, so that way you'll have a couple of weeks to incorporate any of the feedback that you get into your Emerging Trends presentation. I know that I'm sort of last minute getting this to you. I looked at a few projects or a few ideas, but they were all either too small or they were too big for me to implement in this short of a time frame. So what I decided to do was just to build off of an existing project and increase the discussion within the classroom to make these projects a little bit bigger. So if you have any questions, you can respond directly to this discussion post and ask me, and I'll try to make sure that everybody understands what I'm looking for. Otherwise, I hope you all have a good weekend. Have a good week next week. Like I said, I'll be out on Sunday through Tuesday, but I'll still be available by email and working through grading your papers and get all of those finished for you by Tuesday of next week. So have a good weekend, and if I can do anything to help you out, let me know.